Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this opening kickoff will not even reach the landing zone. It hits short of the 20, so that's going to move the ball out to the 40-yard line. Atkins off the bootleg. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack.
It's second down.
So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early second down and long. Looking to throw. Atkins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards to pick up there.
This is an offense that's near the bottom of the league in rushing, so defensively coming in, you've got to know you're going to see the ball in the air a lot. And that time, it's a completion and a first down on this opening drive.
They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. You look at this Cowboy defense. And they're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, it'd easily move into the top 5. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. And they'll send the tight end in motion. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Looking to put a drive together.
Come on, come on.
They'll run. This is Jaden Blue. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Off play action. Price. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. Back to throw. Price. That's to the running back, Jaden Blue. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Let's go.
He finds his man complete. That's Medina. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Point after try forthcoming. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. You look at this Cowboy defense. They've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
And when you see a ranking like number 4 in the league against the pass, that's a testament to both their defensive coordinator and the general manager that crafted this unit, and now they're out executing.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
60 Bison, 60 Bison. 70 range.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. Now, remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going forward on 4th, they're going to try a 2nd time. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
Well, partner, that was a heck of a play right there because there is no chance that he was the primary receiver on that play. Definitely checked it down to him and just said, please, help us out, make a play. And he does and delivers a 1st down.
And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Against the receivers, they'll spread the defense out, and they're able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
He finds his man, complete. It's Ortiz. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a first and goal.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
19.
Atkins to throw. Operating from the gun.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Operating from the gun. Atkins. Throw left side complete. That's Ortiz. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. On the draw, here's Blue. Taking it right down Broadway. He's on his way. Touchdown, Cowboys. Jaden Blue with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0.
Cowboys 14, Vikings nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Yeah, boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Running again with Barkley on second down. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The offense on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Well, that was big right there because they're the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. And he's got this down to the 35. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Now, this play was all about the eyes. As he rolled out to his right, he kept one eye downfield and one eye on what was in front of him, and he ended up picking up some pretty good yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. On the RP, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Patrick Queef. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Operating from the gun, Adkins. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. And the Cowboys will take over here just shy of the 30. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. Looking to throw. Price. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The Cowboys sitting at a very solid 4-2 record through the first 6 weeks. And Charles, they were losers last time. Now, what do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Price now. Off play action. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
They'll pass up a field goal attempt. It would have been a 45-yarder. Now they'll go for it on 4th. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Now a shotgun handoff. Blue. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 93 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Go! Steady, ready?
And he will take it in for the Cowboys score. It's their quarterback. His second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Cowboys take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And bulldozing his way through. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Viking, 18! 18, Pioneer!
Atkins now from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Jair Elam makes a pick.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10, mark it down at the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Get it! Steady!
Got a man and he hits him in stride. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. From 8 yards out. And the Cowboys are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And it is 28-0.
Vikings, nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down.
65 back!
Operating from the gun, Adkins. He's going to let this one go deep. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Tracking 60. 60 Maverick. 60 Maverick. Let's go.
Out of the gun now on third down. That ball caught by his rookie wideout. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
19 tight.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Donovan Ezeraku. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
70 Lions.
Back to throw. Adkins. And that one too wide and incomplete.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback and give him a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
19 Tiger. 19. Trap 60.
Looking to throw. Adkins. Oh, had his hands on it. Couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. A final shot before break. Adkins. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Cowboys. That's an 83-yard kick return touchdown. And the Cowboys have taken a 5-touchdown lead.
Talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And he returns this to the 22.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10.